hormones like GnRH that triggers the pituitary gland to produce LH and FSH, which in turn makes the testes to produce testosterone. So if hypothalamus is not producing these hormones, our testes won't produce testosterone. So this is the reason. And the reason why we are tying this as the deeper core is because our hero ingredient helps with hypothalamus. It helps the brain to produce those hormones and in turn produce testosterone, boost testosterone levels.
So what would be another way to enter this conversation with the same positioning? So a lot of men, it's like, oh, I can't get out of my head.
Yeah.
So this is very relatable, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's talking about the same thing. It's the same positioning. It's talking about the hypothalamus. So do you see how this could easily outperform this? The what if?
Yeah.
Why? What's going on? You know how they say ED's all in your head? Turns out they were right. What is that? What is that element? You tell me.
It's confirmed bias.
Hmm?
It's confirming the bias. It's confirmed bias.
It's confirmation bias. Because regardless of andropause, menopause, testosterone decline, low T, all those terms, it is all in our head. And when physiologically, when our testes aren't producing testosterone, the stress levels are insane. So, we really get stuck in our heads, right? So huge. That's definitely relatable. That's definitely something that can get men to raise their hands and get into the conversation. That makes it effective. Okay. So when we test it, we know why we're testing it. And when you look at the data, we can look at the data based on what we know what our purpose is. So if we're seeing metrics that are engaging but not yet selling, Facebook is still learning. It's still getting the right. You let that shit run. If you turn it off now, you're sabotaging what it's learning. Let it fucking learn. Yeah, Maya, we'll take a look at this. By the way, Matt, you haven't been here in a few sessions. I also want to catch up with you and see what you're doing.
Sounds good.
Great. Okay, so what else? What's another way of positioning? Anybody? There's another what if. Here's another what if.
Oh.
Is that effective? Maybe. Is that effective? Maybe. It's testing the same positioning, just in a different way.
Okay.
What's another one? I keep on spitting them out. What's another one? Anybody? There's another way. Compliant. What else? Manny, what else?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
I'm tapped into the essence. Where are you? Testing's not keeping your T levels at a constant. I want it now. Kind of bad, but still, it's positioning. It's exercising. Right? Okay, so TRT will solve 95% of men's ED. The biggest problem would be like antidepressants, SSRIs, serotonin uptake inhibitors. TRT might not reverse that. That's emotional blunting, which is a dopamine serotonin issue. So you can have high testosterone and still not be able to get it up. But this will fix your ED. So what would be another way of saying that?
What if your test levels aren't the reason for your ED? So like the second sentence, but just
Well, that's just calling water wet. So if you wanted, I mean, of course.
it's because they think the test levels are the main reason for their of their ED, right?
But it is.
Okay.
Low T.
Yeah, I thought you guys were approaching it another way. Like the positioning, I didn't read the whole thing, so I don't know where you guys landed eventually. But I was thinking it was like something else than test.
Well, regardless, TRT solves ED. The problem with it, there's two problems. It's expensive. It's about, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500 per insertion. I think that will, but it does last for, I think, a year. So I mean, for some men, it will last a year. some like me, if I got it, because my testosterone levels are naturally still high. If I took it, I would probably get to like 1200 or higher, which I don't need that. You know, any man knows that if you need it too much all the time, you're gonna make really bad decisions. Fuck. Here's a quick story. When I was married, I at 14 years asked for a divorce. She didn't give it to me. I cheated and I got blackmailed for $50,000, and I paid it. There's a story. I'll use that at some point in a dating product or whatever. And when I paid the $50,000, that is a good story. Oof. So it's more like this. Right? There it is. So that creates the value proposition, just like the knee device I showed you. ACI will fix your knees. TRT will fix your libido. Now, the ACI is a lot more dramatic of a value proposition. Why?
Because it's almost guaranteed to fix knee pain.
TRT is guaranteed to fix libido. So what's another reason?
Yeah, true.
Cost. ACI therapy is $50,000 to $120,000 copays, right? Because it's a newer treatment, insurance companies don't want to pay it. So you have they'll pay for the cheaper. They don't want to pay for the Cadillac. I like that, Matt. Let's put this in here. Let's look at this for a second. Matt, why are you so small? Oopsies. Now you're huge. There we go. So what is this?